Sketch in our lighthouse. As soon as I find my charcoal that I just set down. There it is. Okay. Now I want it to be, I don't want it way out here right on the edge of the little peninsula. We want it to be, we want it out. We don't want it way out in an unrealistic area. I put it right there. Now what we're going to do, I'm just going to hold this. Make sure you take a step back and look and see if it looks straight. Yeah, it looks pretty straight. I don't know if you've ever seen Crisp Point, that went too high, Crisp Point Lighthouse. But it tends to have, it flares a little at the top. So we're going to draw in just a little flare right there. It's not too crazy, but just a little flare. And then we're going to connect around, kind of like, you know those old salt and pepper shakers? I don't know if you ever had them. We had them on our table when I was a kid. Those old salt and pepper shakers that look like big towers. That's what we're making here. Okay. Then we'll have the actual light itself comes up. We'll cap that off. Again, take a step back. Make sure it looks straight. Then we'll put a little red cap on it. Kind of looks like the Tin Man. And there's a rail that comes out right here. Okay, so let's get into some straight white for now. Add a little more white to this. Again, it's this brush right here. And all I'm going to do is fill in with white right now. Okay, once you've got all that white filled in, pop this down just a little bit. You can soften that flare just a little bit if you've got too sharp of a corner in there. And while that paint is wet, what you can do, I've still got some black paint right here, so you can dip a little bit into that black paint just and mix it with some white and make a gray color, and you can make a little shadow following the contour of our lighthouse. So make sure you give it a little bit of a curve to it here. Then you can just kind of slowly bring it over. just going to run a dark line right up here, because this is our shadowed side. Embrace your dark side. Okay. You can bring that over just a little more even if you want to. Just softly. I'm not using very much pressure here. I'm just dragging that over real lightly. Okay. Now I'm going to wash my brush. We're going to let that dry for a few minutes while we put some of our grass in right here. There's like 3 little trees that go right here too, so we'll do all of that at once. You can use the 1-inch chip brush for this, or you can use, this is the one I just used the handle for the lighthouse. You can use a smaller stiff bristle brush. And all we need is some green and some black to start with. Now I've already got the black right there, and I'm all about saving paint, so I'm going to put a little bit of green right there. We're just making a really dark green color. I've got the 1-inch chip brush here. I may switch to the other one, we'll find out. Alright, and I've just mixed up the black and the green just to make a real dark green. And we're just going to tap right on down to the rocks. Bring it right to the rocks. All the way out to the edge, and then right up to the base of the lighthouse. I'm tapping this color in. All right. Now we've got 3 little trees right here. And I'm holding the brush vertically now. I want that middle one to be just a little bit taller. Okay, and now I'm going to just go through and I'm going to tap over this excess paint. All that does is it helps to spread it out. It picks off the excess back into the bristles, and it allows it to dry faster when there's less paint on the canvas. And that means we'll be able to work with it sooner. What we're going to work on now is the upper parts of the tower here, which black basically again. You're going to want a detail brush, a fine detail brush if you have one. Now what I'm going to do is I've got a pretty fine tip there. I'm going to start filling in with straight black. I'm going to fill this in right here. And keep in mind, we're going to have the little windows that the light shines through, so make sure we'll have to leave an opening for those. So what I like to do, it's like right about where the rail's going to be. I just kind of block that in. Try not to knock my painting over. And we'll give us a couple windows in here. And we'll go through and we'll put the light in there at the end. In the lower part we can just fill in with black. And then we can put our rail in. Now if your black paint is giving you issues, water it down. You just dip a little bit, like we did with the spatters on the canvas. Just dip a little bit into the water and drop some into your paint and mix it up. And it'll go on so much smoother. You get thinner lines. My black paint just happens to be awfully watery to begin with, so didn't have to do that. Run a line right across the top here. I'm going to run 2 lines through here. If you want to do like background, like you can see the rail behind it, you can do that. You don't have to do that. For the top of the tower, we want a dark red color. Well, not dark red, but we want a red color. So I just put a little bit of red paint on my plate. And another liner brush. I've got a different one this time. And I'm just going to dip a touch into that black just to darken that red a little bit. I only just got a little tiny bit of it. And I'm just going to fill in the little cap here. And you can put a little bit into the white, put a little highlight over here on the side where the light's hitting. If you want, you can go a little bit into black, put a little shadow over here where it's shaded. Before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my new classes.